Hey there, welcome back guys. In today's video we're going to be going over raft support for your 3D prints. That's right, there's raft support. So many different kinds of supports. When you use them, you decide what's best for you. Maybe you want to print a standing action figure, and raft support might work better for you than the skirt support, which just basically prints all the way around like you saw in the previous video. But today we're just going to be going over the raft. Here's a little raft that printed around the print. Probably wondering, how do we do that? Well, let's get started. Let's dive in. Let's see how we can get this raft support on a 3D print for whatever it is you want to print. All right, let's get started. Okay, so in this video, we're going to be showing you raft support. So you can row your boat gently down the stream. So let's get started. We're going to go into Open Recent. I'll leave a link to the files in the description down below. We are in Preview. We want to be in Prepare. Okay, and click on the project files, and then for here I'm going to bring it down because there's no need to print the fish in thin air. And then what you want to do is see where it says dynamic quality. Dynamic quality is pretty good. As you go to build play, right? And so normally by default this will be empty in there, and so you'll either have to scroll all the way down to the bottom, right, and all the way down, not halfway, not here, not here, not here. Keep going, see? Keep going, keep going, keep going. Walls, quality, nope. So you just type in plate, right? And you see, and now if you scroll down, you'll see support, build plate, adhesion, right? So here we have skirt. And then what we want to do is, and see by default it's there, but for some reason it's not. So let's go back. Let's see. Here. See, right there. Build plate. You just have to scroll to the bottom, but it's easier to just type it in and then just scroll, a little bitty ways that you got to go. All right. So anyway, moving forward, you see skirt. We're going to use a raft. Okay. A raft plate. These are the settings. You can customize them to according, whichever works best for you. But you probably want to print the fish file because the fish file is best to work with. And then once you find the right raft settings that work well for your project, then move on to the big guy or the big stuff that you want to print. Or maybe you might not need this particular support. So you decide what you want when it comes to your raft setup. All right, so moving forward, we're just going to, now you can slice it. Okay, go back to slice. About 10 minutes it should take to print this, and you can get a glimpse of it here if you want to see, but we can't see until we slice it. We click save to disk. I'm going to call this one raft. Okay, and there, it's saved to the desktop. Yeah, we can go have a look in the printer, but before we have a look, let's go to preview. And as you can see, this gives you an idea of what is going to print for your raft. Looks pretty big if you ask me, so you can always adjust the settings accordingly to the metrics on your project. But anyway, let's bring this into the printer. Okay. All right, first you want to make sure your file is inside your printer and ready to print. We're going to select ours. We had a previous project running. We just select finish, and remember, this is going to be on the raft, so you can row your boat gently down the stream. Ideally, this particular support or adhesion would be used for, like, if something big, like a vase, or something like a round sphere that doesn't have that much support when sitting at the bottom, right? Because as the board's moving back and forth, everything's going to be shaking, or as the structure gets taller, it's not going to have that base support because has a lot of layers to heat up, so it'll be hot at the base and maybe cooler in some areas and not so much in others, and then you just need that foundation. Ideally that's what I would use this one for, and you'll see why in the end, why it makes sense. But anyway, the printer is about to start up, and like always watch that first initial layer. A lot of times now, as you get better at your prints, you can just simply set it and forget it. I like to put 205 for the nozzle, and then 65 for the bed. And then the good thing about when you slice your project using cura, it'll keep that temperature maybe the first 15 10, 20 minutes, and then it reverts back to the default temperature of the print project, which is great. And I like that with the Creality slicer. It doesn't do that. If I had done what I just did, it's going to keep it at 205 and 65 throughout the whole print, and not ideal. So look at that. It's just making all the special layers. And it's not ready yet because it's still in grid mode, making this particular pattern. There's a particular name for these patterns. There's actually a cheat sheet online, and you decide which pattern is right for you when it comes to these printouts. For me, I just leave everything set to default. But then anyway, this is the raft. Okay, you have like a raft top layers, raft base layers, raft offsets parts. And it just depends on the numbers that you decide to choose. But they say rafts are primarily used with ABS to help with wrapping and bed adhesion, but they can also be used to help stabilize models with small footprints or to create like a strong foundation. Like I was saying, you want that strong foundation. It's this way you build up your layers going up, with whatever printout, as they say, design you decide to use. But as you can see, look at that. Amazing, isn't it? See, and you can tell, look at that. But I would not recommend taking it off the bed right away because it is stuck on there. It's like basically cooked on there. And if you try to take it off, it's not going to come off like all the other ones you've seen on the previous ones where we did skirt, right? And when we did brim. But raft is really, you're gonna have to wait. Just wait for it to cool off. As you can see, I'm trying to use a spatula, but it's on there, and I put some muscle into it. And those of you who know, have been following me, I usually wait 10 to 15 minutes for the print to cool off. As you can see, that's not coming off. Like literally, it's caked on there. And I can see why, some folks are writing in the forums like, hey, my print is stuck on there. It's not coming off. What should I do? And a lot of people say, oh, just take the bed off and bend it and it'll pop off. But if you wait, it will come off. But I'm just trying to see, look at that. And you can also ruin the print too. As you can see, I just bent it a little. But if I waited, I would not be having this much difficulty. But it's kind of interesting to see what the raft support looks like, because I've never done the raft support. But again, ideally, as you can see, it supports the whole structure moving around. So you're going to be locked in, which is great. Your project is stuck on there, and until it cools off. And then, like I said, you just wait. As you can see, I'm just a little bit impatient. Like, I gotta get this thing off. So I just take the remnants off, and just getting a feel for it. It feels really thick too. It really is a thick layer. So I'll just select finish, and then just take it from there. And that pretty much sums up the raft support. I think I would probably use raft support if I was going to print something like a ball, or a car, something that had moving parts like this here that would roll. Not that anything rolls off your print, but something that would roll would be a fidget like this. See that? You can see. So something with moving parts, something round, you'd probably want a raft support. The raft support would probably be much bigger than this. So knowing that, what you're going to get. Like this was just the raft printed for the fish, right? And it was like 5-6 times the size. But maybe, like I said, you have to use your judgment and decide when you'd want to use this particular support. But just know that it's there. And again, you decide. Anyway, I hope this video helped you in better understanding the raft support. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.